how far down you got to move. If you got to move down just to like the 5th pick of the draft, then a few extra second rounders go along.
Second rounders.
On to our top story in Tom Brady now. Recent reports are that Brady has not washed his hands of New England. One anonymous executive even saying the quarterback is, quote, putting pressure on the Patriots to improve the roster. Nick, you buying that an improved roster is all it'll take to get Brady back to New England?
I don't think it's all it would take. I think it would help. The problem is the order of operations here is going to be really tough.
Why?
Well, how do the Patriots improve the roster? They sign players in free agency. How are they going to determine how much money they have to sign players in free agency before they have the quarterback position settled? Right?
That was actually a pretty good coach.
That
made me a little nervous.
If the draft were before free agency, that's one thing. If they had pulled off some massive trade, prior to free agency, that's one thing. But none of those things happen. So this is where for the Patriots, the timeline is messy. You got the first day free agency opens, a $14 million dead cap hits the cap for Brady from last year. So that you're now working with. Brady is going to clearly take meetings with other teams. So are you going to wait on Brady? What if, as you're waiting on Brady, Ryan Tannehill gets franchise tagged and the Bears trade for Cam Newton? And it's like, wait, hold on a second. Are we going to be left without a chair? And so for the Patriots, I do think adding skill position guys would make it more attractive, because one of the reasons I think he might go to the Chargers is, wow, it's a lot of skill position guys they got there. You don't think Brady cares about that? You don't think Brady cares about who he's throwing to?
I think the assumption that New England isn't trying to constantly add quality players is so ridiculous. And the idea that this unnamed executive is saying this is what they have to do to get Tom Brady. No, that's not how it works. There is a global picture of how to build a team. And one thing that Bill Belichick has shown consistently is that he has that ability to fill in the voids that the team needs, whether it's on special teams, offense, or defense. So the idea that Tom Brady, who's been one of the most unselfish players in the history of sports, is suddenly now saying, I know what this team needs more than what you know, Bill Belichick, it doesn't make any sense. And in terms of budgeting from a free agency perspective or knowing what that number is, typically you have a walkaway number. So you're going to say, we're going to pay this amount, this is our ceiling. If he doesn't want to do that, we're walking away. And when you have a walkaway number, once you put that in place, then you budget everything else, and that's how you...
So, Coach, the quarterbacks that you've worked with, do they have the holistic view of the team where you could tell a quarterback, hey, this punter that we got is going to give us great field position?
No, most guys there is no interest in that whatsoever.
But does Brady care about special teams for real?
Yeah, Brady does. What did Brady do the first time he got a commercial? He made sure that his offensive linemen were in the commercial. Go back and look at it. His very first commercial, he made sure that the offensive linemen got a bite of the apple, and they were in the commercial as well, because that's how he's wired. Where other guys have been like, oh wait, I gotta give a little bit of money to somebody else, and I can't have all of it. No, I'm not going to do that. That's not how he's wired. I mean, how many Rolexes or ridiculous watches do you need? How many great okay,
right,
whatever.
But here's the other element to it. I don't think anyone doubts the Patriots are trying to build the best team they can build. But it's election season, right? And during this time of year, we see all these different polls, what matters to people. Young people care way more about climate change than really old people. Because young people are like, man, that could affect me long term. Old people, to a degree, are like, it's not really going to be my problem. Why do I bring it up? If I'm Tom Brady and I've got 1 year, maybe 2 years left, maybe I am not as interested in, well, if we trade a future first-round pick for Odell Beckham, we are in 2023, the cupboard might be bare. Brady said, I'm done. Like, I am worried about right now, this year, forever, Coach, because Brady is so committed to winning. He and Belichick have been perfectly aligned because they both have been worried about the here and the future, because Brady doesn't want the cupboard to be bare for 2018 back in 2012, because he thinks he's still playing.
But yes, right now, on yesterday's show, you said he wanted to play for 3 more years.
Yes,
so he's not worried about the next 2 or 3 years?
I think he wants to play for three more years.
And do you think that if you have more weapons on offense, but you play horrible defense and horrible special teams, that you're just going to outscore everybody? New England is based off of complementary football. And one of the things that allows them to do the things that they do is because each component of the team has a role. And Tom sees the value in that. He understands the value of a punter. He understands the value of a great field goal kicker. He understands having a core special teams player who can get changes in field.
Understands
position.
Matthew Slater's value. He understands how great it's been his whole career. They've had a great kicker until this season, and he saw the penalty he paid for that. I don't doubt any of that, but I don't think it's fair to have the discussion on aligning tracks all year long. Brady's been done wrong by his weapons, man.
Who said that?
Who says that?
You've said that.
No,
I
never
said that.
No.
Then who said it?
All year long.
If nobody at this table said it, who said it?
Hold on a second, Coach. All year long, when I was sounding the alarm bell about the decline of Tom Brady, what I heard was, well, the offensive line is hurt. N'Keal Harry hasn't developed. They don't have a tight end. All I heard was that it's not Tom, it's his weapons. That was from you. That was from anybody.
I just got
that was
here for the record.
Wilds, but you would have said it because you love him so much. That's all I heard. I'm not creating that narrative. It was there. That it was not Tom, it was the weapons. And so to think that Tom either has to think, well, I'm not good anymore, or they didn't put the right pieces around me. What do you think he thinks is more likely? That he stinks, or that I could have played better, but there weren't the right pieces around me? So of course he wants better pieces around him. Of course he is more, I don't care how selfless you are, he is more interested in a star tight end than an inside linebacker. You cannot convince.
That's the perfect question, Nick. Good job. I know you're fired up, but that's a perfect question.
But I think your characterization of how I presented Tom's situation isn't accurate. All I said is there is a unfair narrative when it comes to New England, in the sense that if things happen to them, everybody assumes that they should overcome it, and that there should be no blip in the radar, that they're impervious to those things, and that's not the case. All I was saying when I brought those things up is, if this was any other team, we would have never. It would have been a 5-alarm fire. Because it was New England, there's the expectation that they're going to overcome everything. So it's not that I was saying he needs more weapons. I was saying there needs to be a realistic view of the challenges that he's had to overcome to go 12-4 and win the division again.
Nick, can you just lay out the timeline for me? Because I guess I'm a little confused. I feel like if you're the Patriots, it's on you to make the first move here. Like, you have to have an idea if you want him back. Throw a number out. Let's start playing. Once you get to free agency, you risk him going out and talking to other teams. What's the timeline for all
this? If Tom Brady is not re-signed by the Patriots before the start of free agency, he's not re-signing with the Patriots. They are not taking a $14 million dead cap hit and waiting 2-3 days into free agency just to bring him back. There's one team that is allowed to negotiate with Tom Brady right now, the Patriots. So the silence in this example, Jenna, is deafening. The fact that the Patriots are maybe, without saying to Tom, go see what the market is and feel free to come back.
In your opinion, means we're
that
done.
they understand where he believes his market is. And by the way, where I think someone is going to offer him a minimum of 2 years, and there might be a team that offers him a non-guaranteed third year, which I think for Tom, it's more about years than dollars. I think you're right. How many Rolexes can you buy, right? He's got money that he's not going to spend. So I think it's a sign of respect, and it's about, can I reach the only personal goal he's ever said publicly, want to play till I'm 45. Everything else has been about team. Everything else has been about team success. The only individual goal I've ever heard him say is, want to play till I'm 45. I think the Patriots know there's going to be a team out there that offers him 3 years, $90 million, or at least a team that offers him 2 years, $64 million.